Hopefully somebody shows up. We are live. Just got back from the Nutter Center seeing Sebastian tonight. It was really good. He had Pat McGann and his podcast co-host Pete open up for him. And then Sebastian came out, did well over an hour, did about an hour and 15 minutes. That's a tad long for a stand-up for me. I like him a lot. I think he's really good, but man, there's probably not a stand-up on earth that could do much more than that. Hey, what's up, Nico? But overall, the first 30 minutes or so, though, he absolutely killed. It was hilarious. Like my face was hurting about 30 minutes in. So luckily he backed off a little bit and it calmed down. Ended strong. I don't really like it when comedians do any like family or wife stuff. It's very rarely that great. I don't know. Almost all of them do it. It's almost never my favorite part of their act. In fact, my favorite parts of his act were the parts that had nothing to do with any of that. So he's still got a bunch of shows coming up between now all the way through February. So if he's coming near you, I definitely would recommend going and seeing it. Now, unlike when we went and saw Bill Burr last year in Columbus, it was nearly sold out. In fact, I think it was sold out. Tonight was not nearly sold out. I don't know what's up with that. It was they started late. That was some of the funniest moments, was sort of him improvising with the crowd. Like it was a lot of empty seats. And then people arrived late. Yeah, Pete was pretty funny. I had a little trouble hearing Pete, though, at times. Little bit of a mumbler, or maybe he's not used to working in the round like that. Well, if he's been out on tour with Sebastian, he should be by now. He just did a quick 15-minute set anyhow. But other than, and sometimes when I didn't hear something, I know he was getting laughs, so. No problems hearing Sebastian. He was plenty loud. But yeah, it was really annoying. The crowd was a late arriving, so then that made it start late. And then even with the late start, people were still arriving late. And then I don't know what the hell the ushers were doing. Whenever they were taking these late arrivals down to their seats on the floor, they were walking them right in front of the stage. Like these one people were nowhere, this group of people, in fact, they were sitting nowhere near the stage. Like at one point, he was like, oh my God, they're still walking. Ah, nice, Nico. Enjoy. I would say enjoy that. Although I don't really like the rail situation at Fish. So I hope you're able to enjoy it. Those bunch of idiots. About the fifth row is pretty cool. So that's it. That's about all I got. I'm not going to bother talking about it. Every time I start to talk about it, I'm going to look at the chat and there's going to be something like, hey, I'm going to Fish on New Year's Eve. And I'm just totally going to get distracted. So if you're watching this later after the fact, that was it. I'm just pretty much killing time now, waiting for King Gizzard to start. What you guys got? You got anything? See, there's a few people here. Don't count on me, man. Just because I went live doesn't mean I have anything to talk about. And I know you guys don't want to hear about Fish because you're never watching the recaps. So I'm not going to talk about Fish until you guys start watching the recaps. Great shows, too. I mean, we're talking all-timer shows. Nobody cares. They only care about new shows. Anything, man. Whatever you got. Yeah, it was hilarious. Yeah, he was really funny. Well, we went to see Bill Burr. I like him a lot. I like all the great ones, really. Chappelle. Louis, Dio. I guess those would be some of the ones that those are the guys that I would go see anyhow. Yeah, I don't know. I imagine there's some popular ones that I don't like, I suppose. It was really good, right? Was your place packed? Because it was not packed tonight. I wondered if that somehow maybe didn't. Cool. I know you do, Nico. I know you do. Yeah, it was really good, right? That was more a comment on myself, really. But yeah, did you have a packed show in Chicago? Because I just wonder if that didn't mess with him a little bit. So he didn't. I mean, he acknowledged it and then just did his set. But I appreciate it, Mike Bizzle. Thank you. Why do I feel like I don't think I have that one already. Nico, if I get through all of the member requests, I certainly will do that. But I don't know. Sometimes I make a bigger deal out of it than others, but all those requests are from paying members. I feel a little bit weird about it, so I don't make a big deal about it. And I don't really want tons of members. But so if you ever make a request and it goes unfulfilled, it's not because I hate you or anything. It's just because I only got so much time. I do have. Let's see. I think I have a Hampton show coming up, but I actually. Oh no, I did not. I take that back. It was a dinner and a movie. I did like a long live stream for it, but the October 21st, 2013 Hampton show, I believe, is next. Something like that. I have not been to see. I have not seen Chappelle here in Ohio. Oh, okay, nice. Um, oh, I do know the Game Hoist show for sure. Maybe that's why the date sounded familiar. Actually, now that I think about it, I've never met a member of Fish. I mean, I've seen Mike on his golf cart and said hello. And then there was one time at the shows in Alabama years ago. Some of the guys from Live and Listen who promote some live music in Alabama, they were trying to meet up with me, but I just never was able to get up with them. And then later on that night, I saw a selfie of those guys with Paige, and I had to wonder if I had been with them, would I have met Paige? Would Paige have punched me in the face? I have not seen Frank. I've seen Dweezil, but never saw Frank. I'll count that. You're right. I will count that. Me and Mike did make eye contact, so that's another thing. And I was sort of isolated too. Like he was headed over towards where like a lot of the people were, and I was just kind of walking from one spot to the next when he drove by. So definitely, Keith. We got King Gizzard in Albuquerque tonight. Oh wow, that's pretty awesome, Nico. I almost wouldn't want to meet them either, though. Um, like a few years ago when Trey did a little solo acoustic show in Dayton. There, there was a little buzz on social media that Trey Anastasio was just walking around downtown, and inevitably a couple of people texted me and was like, "You should go down there and try to meet him." And I was like, "Well, that's just weird." For one thing, like if I happen to be out and about and I happen to run into Trey, that's one thing. But I just felt weird about going down there and looking for him. And then I don't even know what I would say other than like, "Hey, thanks, man. I love your music. I'm a big fan." Beyond that, I don't know if I'd have a ton to talk about. Now, if he had questions for me, I could certainly answer them, but I don't suspect he would. Oh my God, Spud. Damn, that sucks. You're worse than my dad, Spud. I was trying to get my dad logged into ESPN Plus last night. Whew, it was a doozy. It's about the eighth time this happens. Every now and then he calls me up and he wants to watch the Flyers on ESPN Plus. So I give him my login information. Like it's getting so bad, he can't even go to ESPN.com. And then from there, go to ESPN Plus. Logging in's a whole. And then one night he was like, I tried to turn it up and somehow I left the whole page. Like he just somehow ended up off of ESPN altogether. And as all he was trying to do was turn the volume up. It's amazing. It could have been a glitch on their end as well, too. Sometimes that happens, I guess. I don't know. All right, I got the live chat on. Good. We're all set there. But I suppose if I had to meet one of them, it would be Fishman or Trey. So you've met everybody but Paige, it sounds like. Hmm. Pretty cool. Well, if you ever meet him again, be like, hey, that F Zappa 20 guy says he wouldn't even want to meet you. Yeah, 2021 was a lot of fun, right? When they had the time off, came back full force. There was just a, and they weren't even gone that long, you know what I mean? But it damn near had the excitement of 03 and 09. It's so long ago, man, the 03 stuff. I just can't believe, I cannot believe. Like sometimes I just like I feel like their career started in 88. Now I know that's not officially when they started, but let's just say they really started in 88. In 88 through 2000 feels like the bulk of their career when really it is not at all. The bulk of their career is 09 through now. I can never get used to that. And then 2.0, which is where I'm like a 2.0 baby, that's when I first started going to tons of shows and listening to like everything. And that just seems like a blip on the radar now. You know what I mean? Like, wow. Oh, that's awesome, Spud. I was at Blossom when I saw Mike. And then I've only been on the rail twice for Fish. One of them was like 2010, and then the other one 2017, I guess, briefly at the Nutter Center. I don't know 2010 well. I did that while I was still going to a show. I did still go to a show that year. I wasn't totally out in 2010, but I was almost out. That antelope from the show I listened to today or this morning, I guess it was, the West Palm Beach show, Coral Sky from '96. Man, that antelope was sick. Everything from that show was so good. And Outstanding Lizards. Had a couple soft pretzels and a Pepsi at the show. Don't worry. October 30th, 2010, Chalk Dust, huh? Interesting. Paige is the one that stays away from fans, it seems like. And then that's the guy, like that story I told a few minutes ago, potentially, he's the one guy that I would have met in Alabama. I don't know if I'd have been with him then or not, though. I don't know. I don't know if this would have been like an all-day hangout. Who knows? Sometimes when I meet up with people, it's just like, if they're cool, I just kind of end up hanging out with them for the duration of the festivities. Like I always like to meet as many people as I can, but then sometimes once I get there and I meet somebody, yeah, and if they're cool and they got like a nice setup, it's like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna hang here. Spud, I haven't really looked at anything today. Although I do know, I think it's the guy you're playing this week. Are you playing Mike's team? That guy hasn't been able to, he's been locked out of his team for a month. He said somewhere like 3 or 4 weeks into the season, longer than a month. Yeah, I think he said like the third or fourth week, he went to check his team and they made him log in. So when he went to log in, they wanted him to verify by going to like a backup email. And he's like, that backup email doesn't exist. I haven't had it in years. And he said he's tried to like contact ESPN and everything and no dice. So that's really funny. And then I noticed when he told me that, I think Mary was playing him or I was playing him or I just checked his box score. And I was like, well, wow, you got like nobody on bye and all of your guys are healthy. But that is starting to change. And then one other one, maybe Ja. I think maybe it was Ja Volunteer. He didn't realize the type of league he was signing up for. I think he just thought it was like one of those daily fantasy things, maybe where you pick a new team every Sunday or something. I'm not sure. I don't think he was aware that he was going to be in it for the long haul. I don't know. I'm not sure. Did you end up coming? Because I saw the guy with the that's locked out of his account. While he did have a dude on bye or injured dudes or something, maybe Dak Prescott playing. I saw he had 55 points at a chase. I was like, isn't that just Spud's luck? So yeah, I think we have two people who are just kind of not even playing anymore, which kind of sucks because early in the season they were playing. I'm 6-3, I think, something like that. I think I'm 6-3. Then I have another team that's awful. Um, and they're also 6-3. So both of my teams are 6-3, and one of them I think is a pretty damn good team. I'm like, how do I ever lose? This team is stacked. And then my other team really sucks. But somehow every week, hey, what's up, Woody B? Somehow every week I do manage to have like one or two guys that just go crazy. A lot of times it's Jalen Hurts. In fact, today it was only Jalen Hurts. Yep, just two. I draw the line at two, though. One that I've been in for years, and then I started another one with channel members. No, Woody B really only shows up for live streams anymore. I know, but the rest of my team was so pathetic. That team has just been decimated with injuries. And then I had a couple of Seahawks on bye. Like last week, Jackson Smith and Jigba bailed me out. I have a bunch of guys that score like 7 or 8 points, and then usually like Hurts and another guy get me like a combined 50 or 60 points or something. I don't want to talk too much about fantasy, though. There's nothing worse than listening to people talk about their fan. Like everybody cares about their own fantasy team, but almost nobody cares about someone else's fantasy team. I do know that much. I know. I've been wondering, is it too late? I know you had the winning streak. I know he never come. He doesn't do anything anymore, right, Nico? I like that guy. I thought he was really good. I wish I would have been more vocal at the time. Um, because then yeah, like people ended up like blaming me saying I was talking shit to him or something, which was just not true at all. Absolutely not true at all. Apparently, someone who some YouTuber like insulted him and was like he's not F Zappa 20 or something, you know what I mean? And somehow that became I was the guy attacking him and ran him off. It's ridiculous. Good deal, Woody. Good. I'm glad you're busy. It's good to know. But yeah, it's too bad that his recaps were good. They were lengthy, but they were super in depth. And then yeah, those Anatomy of a Jam videos are pretty cool. They're still all there though, I assume, right? Haven't watched any in a while, but maybe I remember actually around the time the Tweezer one came out, I believe I was driving to see Fish. And I listened to it in the car. You guys ever have that where like you think of a specific trip? Like, oh yeah, or when I went to Hampton that year, I remember listening to this. Thanks, Mike. Good deal, Woody B. Good to know. Have you moved on to any new instruments? You still drumming away? What you doing? Moved on to bass guitar yet? I feel like the Doors came up in a couple of streams back, maybe. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know. Or maybe in one of the Fish recaps. Oh, that's what it was. Summer's Almost Gone came up during one of the recaps. And then I think during the live stream, that was sort of refreshed. Right now, it's just Lemonade. Yeah, just something called Lemonade here in Ohio. Although I did some Orange 43 gummies for the Sebastian show. I'm still at that might still be hanging in there a little bit. I like we got this strain specific now gummies around here, and they have a one strain like maybe my all-time favorite strain, which I haven't found much flower of lately. Um, I found the gummies of that one, and I like them, man. I was getting to the point where I was like, I don't know, gummies don't really do anything. You know, I got to eat a whole damn pack or something. Oh wow, that's interesting. On your drive to live in North Carolina, or you're listening to Soundgarden, huh? That's pretty cool. My fan? You don't? What do you mean? We haven't seen. We haven't seen a lot of F Zappa's fan in a while. I'm not sure what you mean. I thought at first I thought you meant actually fan. I don't know, man. I think when Fish goes off tour, it just kind of. And then every now and then I throw up a complete bizarro video. Okay, now I was starting to decipher it a little bit. Um, and then every now and then I throw up some wacko videos that make no sense for a channel that had a little bit of momentum going, like talking about music. I'll do a live stream where I like clean out my garage, or a video where I'm picking up walnuts, or, Ohio State versus Oregon. Although people did watch the Ohio State versus Oregon. I don't know. I just feel like this whole YouTube game's gotten weird. Like, it used to be no problem. Like, whatever. This channel makes videos about sports and music and dishes and lawn mowing and whatever. It's a real Renaissance channel, you know? It's like that doesn't fly. It doesn't go well with YouTube anymore. It's like it confuses them or something. They're like, I don't know where to put this guy. This guy's a wild card. I don't know. I don't know. And really, I have probably the most energy and put the most effort, and like I don't even know if effort's the right word, but probably just the most energy and the most to offer when Fish is on tour and they're like touring live. I don't know. I like getting on here and chatting, but I'm just always so easily distracted. Like sometimes I can't even get through one. Like somebody will ask a question, and I'm in the middle of answering their question, and then I see another one. Holyfield's ears. You had those gummies. I've never had those gummies, but I think I know what you're referencing, Mike Bizzle. And I noticed some YouTubers, they like say whatever they have to say, and then they go all the way back to the beginning of the chat and they scroll through. Or they do the thing where they put the comments up on the screen. I don't know. My computer's a complete disaster right now. Where these hiccups are coming from. Thank you, Mike Bizzle. I know, right, Nico? I guess I've always just been like, hey, I just want to post stuff that I like or I think's funny or interesting or something I would want to rewatch back. I've always had that mentality, and part of the problem is though, is like it used to be no one watched, so it didn't really matter. I could have a video where I was airboxing or sticking a kiss doll in the oven or talking about a football game. Kind of didn't matter. Or some footage from a baseball game. It didn't really matter because nobody really watched anyhow. And I did that first damn Fish recap. Really had two friends in mind. I was like, I'm going to send this to Brandon and Aaron. And I'll post it on PT too. I'll get those. Almost like a troll job a little bit. I just wanted them to like be scratching their head, be like, what exactly just happened? Well, it worked. My two friends thought it was hilarious, and PT was like, what in the hell just happened? Who is this guy? I want to know more. And here we are, all 10 years later, still doing recaps. It was supposed to be a joke. I was supposed to be like pointing like how some people will look at a set list. And it doesn't happen as much anymore, but in the past, you certainly would look at a set list and be like, that show sucks. Or, I don't know. Maybe people still do that. I'm not sure. And I definitely, when I went to those shows in 2014, it was just like, well, I got some time off work. I don't really know what else I'm going to do. I don't really have anything planned. I would like to get away though. And I don't know. I don't know if I would have kept going to shows or not, man. Hell yeah. That was the boxing video was my first digital camera. And I heard about YouTube And I was like, really? This is how it works? You just record something, then you upload it to this website? It sounds fun. And then yeah, that was what I thought I would do. Horrible boxing technique. Then I inadvertently, let's not talk about that. All right, I inadvertently put porn on YouTube one time on accident. I thought I was reviewing a video game. I forgot to hit stop in the background. All right, I did it intentionally. I'm not that big of a perv weirdo. But my goal was hopefully people watching would be like, what the hell? Does this guy know what did he forget to hit stop? What was he doing right before this video? But then once I started to like get some subscribers, I privated that video. I was like, that might get my channel banned, you know? And then some people were like, yeah, you figured out a way to beat the censors. You got prawn on YouTube. And I'm like, that wasn't my goal, man. That's not what I was trying to do. I was just trying to be ridiculous and funny. Yeah, Spud thinks it's funny. And you couldn't see anything, but it was pretty clear there was some serious doggy action going on. It was obvious. You know, you'd be like, I think that's too, what exactly is going on back there? And then, yeah, it was it. Yeah, so it's private. I mean, God, I probably had 23 subscribers back when I did that. I don't even know why. I was like, well, if anybody finds this, that'll be a treat. A couple thousand people. I think it ended up getting posted to like whatever video game that was for them. They were like, this guy really likes the game. Oh man, I was living in some like total, like just some small crappy apartment. Not that my living place, none of them ever been in some palatial estate, but this apartment was particularly bad. Get the sniffles bad tonight too. Maybe you're right, Nico, because I wasn't even there for 2011. I had jumped off the ship, and really there was never anything that was like, oh, you got to come back. By 2013, things started to happen where I was hearing things, and I was like, oh yeah. And I didn't immediately dive back in, but based on like 2013 and hearing things, I was really out of the loop. I wasn't doing any kind of fish social media. I wasn't really checking .net, reading reviews, or even set list or anything really. But then a couple of things in 2013 were like unavoidable. The Tweezer being one of them. Maybe some shows that fall being another. I don't think 2013 was Fuego. Was that the Fuego Halloween? Maybe. I think perhaps it was. So some things were happening in 2013 that caught my attention. And like they say, just when I thought I was out, they pulled me right back in. That damn Tahoe tweezer, man, it got me. Yeah, I don't know why. But I get that just seems so overwhelming to me. I'm like, I don't know where to go. I don't know where to stay. Like, do I take a cab? I've never been on the subways there. It's just like I feel like I don't know how to do any of that stuff. So I would just be like spending my whole time like worried that I'm not going to get from one destination to the next. And I know all the time people make their first trip to New York City. They get on a plane, they get to the airport, they find transportation from the airport to a hotel. A lot of times they walk from their hotel right over to Madison Square Garden. I hear it. It all sounds really easy. Mary's been to New York City. She said she'd like to go. And I don't know though. Sometimes Mary says like, "Oh yeah, I got this, man. I'm going to be the guide." And then we get going and it turns out she don't really know either. She's just like me. She's like, "I don't know shit. I don't know where we're going. I thought you did." Like, "I don't know. You lived in Columbus, not me." And then there's oh man, my last time when I was up in Chicago, I should tell. I'll leave you guys with this story. Maybe you guys can relate. Some way you'll be able to relate. Either it's happened to you or you've seen it go down. Certainly, you've all been in public and there's been some hot shot on the phone, right? In fact, I'm gonna go get me a phone and make this demonstration better. Where is that bad lad? Oh yeah, here we go. This phone will make it even better. So you've all been there, probably. Hopefully it was never one of your friends or loved ones, like what happened to me. It was you just saw it go down and you were super annoyed. But anyways, we're going to Chicago to see King Gizzard. My friend, he lives up in Milwaukee, and he's been to Chicago several times, quite a few times, really, but never regularly enough to where like he really knows Chicago, knows his way around. And then, in fact, over by Northerly, he did admit this is one area where I've never been a lot. I haven't done a lot of work over here, yeah, in Chicago. And then so we're meeting a third friend there who lives in Chicago and's been in Chicago his whole life. So we get there, we park. We know it's going to be a while till we meet him, and we want to go and get something to eat. So here we are. Now we're out walking on the streets of Chicago. There's people around, and he wants to, he's got to call our friend and just ask him, hey, where's a good place to eat around here? But I think he was a little bit embarrassed. Like, I kind of knew. It's like, it's all right, man. You don't have to act like Mr. Chicago. I know you're not. It's fine. You're a tourist just like me. But he does so much traveling, he doesn't want to be like a tourist. He's seen enough touristy stuff that he's like, I don't want to be a tourist. So I'll pick this story up a little bit. He gets on the phone, calls our friend, and this is the conversation. I just wanted to build it up a little bit to let you know that he was a little bit embarrassed to act like a tourist. So instead, he acted like this guy. He's like, hey, what's up? Yeah, man, we just got here. Yep. Yeah, we're just looking to grab a quick bite to eat. So he starts doing this thing too. Although he's calling this guy knowing nothing, and he's got this guy on the phone's got the answers, and all he's got is questions. He kind of turns it around and sort of makes it seem like he's the one that knows what's going on, and he's telling this guy. So there's a lot of this. Right. Yeah, we're just going to get a quick bite to eat. Yeah, we're walking towards the venue. Yeah, we parked. He doesn't even actually know where we parked. Right there by the river. Right across the river. Yeah, right there by it. Yep, right. Mm-hmm. We're just looking to get a quick bite to eat. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Sure. And then every now and then you get one of these. Hey, but I don't really know where I don't know anything around here. Should I go up here and go right on that street, or do I get down closer to Northerly? Oh yeah, sure. Sounds good. Yeah, right. No. Right. Sure. Of course. Hey, is there going to be like a long line there? Do you know if we'll be able to get in and eat right away? Yeah, right. Of course. Yes. Meanwhile, I'm there with him, and like there's people turning around and looking. This lady with her dog, I thought she was going to sick her dog on him. And I'm just like, man, I'm not with him. I do not know this guy. Right. Sure. Of course. Absolutely. I gotta hop on a call real quick. Let me get back to you on that. All right, I'll send a fax. All right, he didn't say all that shit, but and maybe I'm not doing it justice. I don't know. I'm going to leave you with that. All right, King Gizzard's got to be starting soon. What time is it in Albuquerque? Albuquerque. Boom. We're out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Nico, Mike, Woody B, Spud. Right. Of course. Absolutely. Sure. Hey, where's a good place to eat around here?